Good evening. I'm your host, George Bruno, also known as the Sultan of Silver. Welcome to another episode of Beards Without Borders. Interesting is, when I shape someone's beard professionally, I put a great shape in it, and then they're very surprised at how little hair hit the floor, but their beard looks brand new and 500% better. And I always say, it's not about how much hair hits the floor, it's about the right hair hitting the floor. Do you get that? So marriages aren't hard work. You could be working on all the wrong stuff, real hard. It's working on the right stuff. So how do you determine what is the right stuff? My opinion is this. If you are whole and the other person is whole, and there's none of this you complete me bullshit. If people are independent, self-sufficient, and whole coming together, I think the marriage is easier than one or both people feeling that the other person completes them, or that they need them and that their combined income and resources will improve their lifestyle. If both people are not impulsive in any way and reacting to singleness or a previous relationship, you have to kind of let the the need and desire go down to nothing. And the true desire needs to be for the other person. You need to really, really desire them, not just desire being with somebody. I've stated in the past that for the longest time I missed the absence on the other side of the bed, going to bed at night. And it wasn't so much the sexual stuff. Of course you miss that. I mean, that's a given. But when you wake up on half of a queen-size bed and there's no one on the other side, you're not missing the sex, you're not missing the finances, you're not missing the fun. All you're missing really is that companionship, the warm body, the other person. And that's what you miss. And you're not used to being alone. So it feels weird. So, for instance, if I have an itch right here, my skin says to my brain, itch. My brain signals to my hand, and I scratch it and relieve the itch. We are problem-solution wired. We are stimulus-response wired. I had an itch, I scratched it. If you are lonely and you are feeling the effect of an empty side of the bed, that's the worst reason to get married. It's the worst reason to be with somebody. Although it was the easiest thing to remedy, and still is. I find that if you are in no hurry, and I'm not talking about living together forever either, and that whole marriage is just a piece of paper thing, because I don't believe that. To me, it's a serious union. You're not just dating somebody. And I know many in the modern generations don't necessarily have a till death do us part opinion about marriage. It's kind of like till we split up do we part. And that could be for any reason. Everybody hurts when you go through a divorce or a breakup. And then when you've been single for a while, or even if you've never been married, you can relate to this portion here. You feel the need to have somebody. you'll date a few people and they will be your transition people. Anyone that falls in love with you during that time is falling in love with an unresponsive rock when it comes to commitment. That ain't going to happen. So people have to get that remedy the empty side of the bed thing out of their system. It seems like most people do. I don't believe this is a stage that people go through in widowhood. I don't believe that. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know any of the circumstances, the psychological impact of widowhood on a person. I'm not familiar with that too much. But if you're divorced, it seems like if you're the kind of person that is into or leans towards instant gratification, not having to wait, you'll end up with somebody pretty quick. And you'll think it's love when all it was somebody filling the other side of the bed. It's a hard relationship to maintain because all the fun and all the quote-unquote relief is a horrible foundation for a long-term relationship. So be careful if you are dating or seeing a person and you are their transition person. If you're dating someone who's fresh out of a relationship or a marriage, all I have to say is caution. I know there's exceptions to the rule, and I have friends that are exceptions. But generally speaking, caution. Keep it light. As far as you dating people that are transition people, you don't want to fall in love with someone like that. You don't want to be like that. Either one. You don't want to date transition people, or you don't want to be a transition person. Unless you are good at completely 100% detaching yourself. I can use a lighter now. It's neat. A little bit of range of motion is coming back now. Time for a little swig. How do two flawed people come together and make something work? You know, I know a million people who have the answers. I'm not one of them. But I know a lot of people who have quote-unquote answers to that question. And if I was sitting in a leather chair and there was a crackling fireplace next to me and I looked like somebody full of wisdom, honestly, I couldn't fake that answer if I tried. There's so many people where things are obvious why their marriages break up, or why things that are very obvious about why people are together, and then you look at some people and say, that will never work. And it's so funny, the third parties are always the one to see that when they look at another couple that's mismatched. How do you avoid being a statistic? I wish I could give you hope. I don't have the answer to that. As I talk to people daily through videos and social media, I don't have the answers. I have to rely on gut. When people start talking to me and I start hearing little sirens and seeing red flags go off when it comes to things like trust, commitment level, substance abuse, wicked spending, but not paired with wicked earning, all red flags that I get a real bad gut feeling about. But as far as the answers, talk to people who you don't know, and talk to people who you know. And see what other people see when it comes to you being in a relationship or moving towards marriage. Usually, you can't see the things that they can. So where's the hope? The hope is this, is that there's a lot of people on this earth. And you have to get out there, and you have to get seen, and you have to get seen at the right places. It's about being at the right places and meeting the right people. Write down on paper the qualities of the person you want in a partner. Do that on make a column. Put a line down the middle. On the left side, write down all the qualities of the person you want, that you desire, or that you want to spend your life with. In column B, on the other side, take a look at everything in column A, and then ask yourself, where would the people who possess all of the qualities on column A, where would they be? Where would they be? Are they in a smoke-filled room somewhere? Are they in a rowdy biker bar? Probably not. Where might they be? Make that list. Do it with a friend. And then find out ways to be at those places. It's just planting seeds, that's all. And in the meantime, you work on yourself. You lose weight, or get in shape, or get a nice haircut, or a beard trim, or if you're a female, you make yourself attractive. Learn some new colors, maybe get a new hairstyle. Apply makeup in a different way, make yourself attractive. And that doesn't mean becoming thin. I know women think you got to be thin. You don't have to be thin. It's got nothing to do with that. You know that. Don't let the world teach you anything different. The feminine mystique exists regardless of weight. So don't think that. As far as guys, it's not about money and power. That's part of the equation down the line, but it's about your confidence. Get your confidence back up. You've been knocked down. I know you have. Everybody's on a continuum. There's always people that you can learn from, and there's always people you can teach. So consider yourself not a victim, but consider yourself a person on the continuum, looking for people that are wiser than you, and then looking to teach people that need what you need to teach them. Just a few little mechanisms to help you get through things. Does that make sense? It's been fun. Thank you for joining me tonight. And we'll see you again at another time that I have no idea when that's going to be on Beards Without Borders. Thank you.